Hit it.
Hel- uh, I was going to. Hello,
Hit it.
Gia. Stop that. Stop. Let's not
A
start
one,
by
a
fighting.
two, a one,
Oh,
two.
you're gonna be impossible tonight, I can already tell. And
My
you know what?
electrolytes
I'm
are
gonna
up.
I'm gonna come at you ham if you keep this up. Do you know what
What?
that means?
No, I bet you ham. I thought you were one of those annoying vegans. What are you talking about ham?
I know. It doesn't feel right in my mouth when I say it,
Yeah.
but I was introduced by this new expression by one of these young kids, Bailey, and she challenged me to use the
What is
expression
ham? Like
tonight.
hard as a monkey or something like that?
Oh,
Or
you were so close. So
oh,
much
really?
more. Yeah, I never would have got it. Hard as a
Hard as a
motherfucker.
mother? Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
look
yeah,
at
hard as a.
you.
Well, it
Yeah,
should be hamph.
hard as a mother. Well, it's motherfucker
Yeah.
is one word.
Is it hyphenated or is
No,
it a?
I don't think so. It's
It's
just
literally
one
one
word.
word.
Yeah, yeah.
Is
She
that a
probably thought,
compound word then?
"Oh,
Compound word.
Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ."
That's three words,
I
and you might be offending some people at the moment.
at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh
Hey, we've all
god.
been having fun on Facebook without you for a while. I don't know if you like.
Oh,
Where'd you go?
my will to live is just evaporating. I might have to fix myself a drink if you're gonna be like this.
No, I was posting stuff, and we're all talking, and people are
Oh, I know.
having a
You
good
and
time.
your horsey
Oh,
friends.
I know.
Nah, nah, nah. Everybody loves the ponies except for Keisha.
Okay, I'm gonna give one funny detail about the Sugarbush Harlequins, and then I'll stop. But
Ah,
so I'm following their page now, and
I gotta go. I've got to go.
on Wednesdays, on Wednesdays they call it, how
Oh,
like it's Wednesday is Hump Day. Well, they call it Rump Day, and they post a picture of the best spotted horse rump, that somebody sends in. Isn't that great? Hello. I was like, oh no, technical difficulties.
nope. I'm just gone. I'm leaving.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
Gia.
cute. So
Oh,
you get the cute spotted
so
bum,
you
horse
get an
bum
ass.
picture.
You get an ass in your
Yeah,
face every
yeah,
week. Uh-huh.
chonky. Yeah,
Chunky speckled ass.
yeah. Anyway,
Mhm.
that's
I
fun.
think that's a new apple variety too.
Chonky speckled. You just don't know. I mean, it's really fun being part of a community. You can join in.
Is this like a new church then? The
I
church
I
of
think I think it might be the Sugar
of
Bush Harlequin.
sugar.
Oh,
Oh,
anyway, did we have any horse
I
stuff from General Hospital? I guess we didn't have any horsey things. We had a little Cody action today.
that was horse adjacent, I guess, wasn't
Right,
it?
right. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if I'm sure your horse people are fine with what's happened so far in the first 3.5 minutes of this
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
But for anyone who's not a Sugarbush
Mhm.
fiend,
Yeah.
I apologize. I
Well, did you
apologize.
see my other post about Jane Elliott? That picture of.
Oh, yeah, yeah, with Elvis. Yeah, I saw that
Yeah, wasn't
too.
that cool?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and she's in such a cool position, her body language just makes you think she was a rock star even back in the day.
Oh, and you probably didn't read that link. I don't know if anybody read it, but there was a little article like some sort of Elvis blog, and
Mhm.
it was talking about her. It was quoting her a whole bunch about her early and like she was kind of a snob in real life too, and she was like, "Who's this
Uh-huh.
Elvis guy?" And like, "What? He's
Uh-huh.
kind of a has been," and she
Huh.
was not impressed, and then she
Wow.
like kind of became friends with him and was
Uh-huh.
very sympathetic to him. But yeah, I love that picture. I mean, she looks like she's
Mhm.
tipping her head back to do one of her big cackles.
Yeah, 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 she just looks like so much like herself, like
Yes,
the
yes.
person we know as Tracy, but
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
maybe we can
Yeah,
hunt down that movie someday. But
yeah, and also we were remiss, we didn't mention that
Mhm.
Leslie, the actor who plays Leslie,
Oh,
uh,
has passed away. Yes,
died.
I did see
Yeah,
that
so
a few days ago. Yeah,
that
that's
was
sad. But
very sad. Yeah. She had a
she was
great
a
career
little bit
too.
before my time. I mean, she was on
Yeah.
and off and on, but
Yeah.
she was not a character that I knew from.
Right, right. Yeah, she would just pop back in
Yeah,
occasionally,
yeah.
yeah, over the last couple of
But
decades, I guess,
yeah,
yeah.
we're losing the old guard. Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. Yeah. So, okay, so we can check ham off the list.
Yeah, that was your
I
big
think I used
contribution.
that pretty effectively, don't you think?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah, because I do come at people hard as a motherfucker.
Do you like in your work or socially, or how's it? When is this happening?
Um, no, I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
more of a sham than a ham.
Shamham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't
Anyway,
really see you being that way, but
no, I
okay.
don't think you
So
are either. Maybe we are here with each other.
yeah, maybe
Mhm.
I have occasionally like uh, in medical situations like when
When
in well,
when
not so much mine, but I was thinking of sometimes in dealing with people having to deal with like stuff with my parents. I
Oh,
have
yeah, when
been
you're advocating for somebody else, yeah,
yes, I
yeah,
have been
mhm,
like I've sometimes I'm a real hard ass, and sometimes my brothers like will look at me and like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
uh-huh.
not messing around here," you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, that would
Yeah.
have been a perfect, yeah, situation where you coulda used that expression, that ham
Yeah,
expression.
and that like that
Yeah.
funeral director that was so inept. I guess
Mm,
I
mhm.
hammed him pretty hard, I guess. My brothers were like, "God,
Yeah.
you weren't even being polite." I'm like, "Right, because he was an idiot. He was wasting my time."
Okay, I take it back.
I was I think what it is when I've lost the veneer, like
Yeah.
I was grieving so hard about my dad, and so I'd lost my veneer of politeness.
Well, it
Like
takes a lot of energy to maintain that,
it
yeah.
does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah.
So sometimes when
Mhm.
you're kind of raw, you just can't keep
Mhm.
that up. But
Yeah,
apparently my
yeah.
brothers can.
Wow. Yep, yep, yep.
Anyway, we're totally not talking about that. Let's get on
We're
General Hospital.
totally not. Yeah, okay, where do you wanna
Yeah.
begin, Gia?
I'm going to begin with I hate Lulu.
I hate Lulu also.
God.
yeah, I mean, especially because when she and I kind of understood where Cody was coming from, I think a little bit. I mean, I'm a little disappointed in him, but I think, having come into this like sort of midway, he doesn't have like he doesn't really have the proper context for this information, I don't think. You know, it was
Yeah,
sort of
I mean, and he's
colored.
Dante's friend first, so that kind of
Right,
makes
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
and I guess his personal history might sort of affect how he sees
right.
these things, that's legitimate. But she was so delighted really
Yeah.
to be able to just like sort of own her shittiness, like and it seemed like it really did show how she does want to be just the one who spills the
She
beans, just
just
the
wants to
one.
be the one to stick it to Brooklyn, and she's
Yeah,
thinking the worst
yeah.
of Brooklyn now, like, "Oh,
Yeah,
Brooklyn
yeah.
knows, and it
And
and I we're both like,
sorry.
and
Come on,
educator,
shut
gotta
up,
hate
just
it."
shut
Yeah.
up.
No, go ahead, you go ahead.
Um, well, wasn't it, Lois who said that Saint Ignatius name? Did Brooklyn ever say
Yes.
that? So
Well,
that
I
was
think Brooklyn repeated it once Lois told her that.
so Brooklyn told Lulu the
I
Saint
don't
Ignatius stuff?
know.
So there was a lot of instances in
Yeah.
these recent episodes where I was trying to fill in the blanks, and obviously with our brains, we're just
Yeah.
not capable.
Lois when Brooklyn and Chase came to Lois and said they wanted to like they thought it would be cool to use the same
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right,
agency.
right.
So
She
Lois
mentioned,
coughed
yeah.
up that name, but how
Mhm.
Lulu got that name, I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember that exchange of information, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine really, that anybody would have told her. that information.
But I just have to return to how shitty it was that
Mhm.
Lulu just flat out just told Cody all of this.
Mhm. Mhm.
Just told him the whole thing. It was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, that's just being a shitty human.
It is so shitty, and yeah, she's just so smug. She just is sitting on her perch, acting like, she's the one who's trying to do the right thing,
Oh yeah, that
everybody
when she
else.
said that, like I'm the one here trying to do the right thing, and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
could you at least add? Were we doing acronyms today? That one of those IMHOs,
Yeah, yeah. Right, right.
IMHO, like
Yeah. And she said, I could give him a family, like something like that, like Geo, she could give him a family. It's like, you aren't giving him anything, Don't act
yeah,
like you're
I know,
some
yeah.
generous person here. Yeah,
And then,
awful.
sort of in a parallel universe, Dante has turned back into an asshole as well.
Yeah, yeah, he just dug right back into the anti-Geo nonsense.
Yeah,
Especially, like, and I was so glad that Rocco was trying in his sort of meek way, to
yeah,
own the blame, like, "It's all on me." And I think Dante should have sort of acknowledged that more, that his son had the character at least to, try to, put the blame where it belonged.
right. And no, Dante's first he was saying, "Oh, Danny, Danny should have never left you," and blah, blah. And
Mhm.
actually, there was a scene where Laura was, who was she with? I guess she
Uh,
was with Lulu and Lucky, and she said,
uh-huh,
"I
uh-huh.
blame those older boys for making
Yeah,
him play the
yeah.
drinking game." Like, what?
Mhm.
What universe is this? My parents never, like, there was never some other person they were screaming at when we did stuff.
No, no, that's true, that's true, yep, yep. Yeah, you're disappointed first and foremost in your own child. Yeah,
Yes, yes. I
yeah,
mean,
mhm,
they might have been angry or annoyed at other people
yeah,
playing a part, but they weren't
uh-huh, right,
um, tiptoeing
right.
around who actually put the alcohol down their own gullet. Like,
No, right, right, yep, yep,
yeah. So it was disappointing to see Dante convert back to
mhm,
that little.
yeah, and
It's
and
like
like
he
you
got a
said before.
stick up his butt or a burr under his saddle or whatever.
Oh, no. This horse thing is never going away now. I blame you, listeners, you horse people. Look what you've done once again to Gia. Now she's validated.
And
Ugh.
then we got the fun cartoon about the whores and the horse. It made me feel a little better. Like I really should work on not calling people whores. Like that's
I guess. I
yeah.
guess.
I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly have nothing against a prostitute or,
I don't either. I don't either. It's also literally like a fun word to
it
say.
is a fun word to say. Yeah. Can we just have that, please?
Well, the person messaging wasn't chastising
No, no,
us
she
for saying
wasn't.
horse,
She
but
wasn't. No.
I have a little guilt about it though, because
Yeah. We
I don't know.
apologize if we have offended anybody with that, but it
Yeah,
really is just, we're word sluts really more than anything.
kind of are. Yeah, kind
Yeah.
of are.
Mhm.
Uh,
Let's
anyway,
see.
so those things were disappointing, and
Yeah, yeah. And well, like you said last time, like they're sort of gearing up for the reveal, so Dante will feel like an extra big shithead, having
right, right, yeah,
roasted Geo, but we don't think that's not a good
yeah.
use of our time.
Um, and a slight where was Lulu when she was meeting up with Cody? What was that setting? Where were they?
Um, it was some sort of a public place, right?
Yeah, and I don't feel
Wasn't it?
like I knew what it was.
Hmm. I'm not sure either. Is that important?
Well, I just wanted to talk about the flowers on the table.
Okay. I
There were
knew
some
you
flowers in
were
the
gonna.
background too, but the flowers on the table, and I can't confirm this. If anybody out there can, um,
You
but
don't
I
have
looked
to.
at them and I was like, and I had this. I flashed back on. I think they, and it's a fun word to say, and that's why I brought it up because you might want
Okay.
to try it too. I think I think they're Scabiosa.
Scabiosa. That sounds like
Yeah,
some sort of a symptom of a venereal disease.
I know, I know. Isn't that a
Scabiosa. I
yeah.
see some scabiosa on your penis, sir. Here's some ointment.
Um, anyway, they were a very dark
Oh,
flower.
it's
They
also
almost
known
look
as a
black, but
pincushion? Also known as a
yes,
pincushion, yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Oh, they're very pretty. What color were they on the show? I don't
They
remember.
almost look black, and that's why I'm not sure.
Oh. Oh, yeah,
They
well,
I
they
mean,
do
I
come
think
in a very dark, sort of maroon, eggplanty kind of
yeah,
color.
that might have
Yeah.
been, yeah,
Uh,
and they were
uh-huh.
kind of pretty, and I was like, "That's an unusual little flower for
Ah,
the table."
I wonder who
Um,
named it the scabiosa. That seems a little bit
I don't know, we don't
unfortunate.
know.
It's in the
Scabiosa is a
honeysuckle
pun
family, it says. Is that possible?
really? That
Yeah.
seems
Huh.
odd.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Okay, well, there you go, people. That's your flower segment for the day.
Yeah,
Mm,
after I was into horses in much later years, I was into
mhm.
flowers and plants
Yeah, Gia has
for a
done some time
while.
working at nurseries.
I've done some time, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I
Yep.
was a barista for a while. I mean, really
Mhm.
quite
A
a
Renaissance
varied
woman?
background. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, I think we could call you that.
I
Sure.
feel
A
I feel
Renaissance
that
woman.
old sometimes. All
Yeah,
right.
well, that
So Dante's an asshole.
yep,
Lulu's an
Lulu's
asshole.
yep, yep. Oh, there today I would like to talk about some of the lovely little, conversations we had. There were some nice
All right,
ones, I thought.
there
Okay?
were. I know
Okay.
you like a vignette, and you got a
I
few
do. I
vignettes
love
today.
a vignette. I love it when 2 people are having a nice little moment, no
Yeah.
drama, just sort of being there for each other. One of those moments I thought was between Gio and Sonny.
Yep, they had a nice little conversation. Yes. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
Sunny
Gio
Sunny was very supportive.
Yeah, yeah, and I thought he kinda said the things Gio needed to hear, and he needs to hear these things more than once, I think, that, he didn't do anything wrong. I mean, at his age and in the context of what was going on, that was kind of like what you would expect someone his
Yeah,
age
that's
to do.
a good distinction to make. It's not like, "Oh, don't feel bad that you made a bad decision." It's like you didn't
Right.
actually really do anything wrong. You tried to help in a situation, you know.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
so. I mean, because he could have easily just turned his back, like another type of kid would have just said, "It's your problem, whatever, I'm with
yeah.
my friends or something, you young punks, figure it out." But he tried, and he was trying to be a friend to Rocco, so I think we have to appreciate that. So that was nice.
Yep. Okay.
Mm, I've forgotten the other 2.
She took a swig of vodka and she forgot the other 2.
Let's see. Well, I'm thinking there was one between Laura and Sonny, which was also interesting, where he was telling her that he was thinking about selling his peers to Sidwell, and she was, of course, dismayed. But she came around pretty quickly, and I thought maybe a little too quickly.
Like, oh, right, when she said, "You need to think of your family, of course," and
Yeah, like
that
she
kind of thing.
wasn't being
Yeah, yeah,
fair, because
yeah.
I mean, it's true, it's not Sonny's responsibility, I guess, to, like
To see
make
who's gonna fill that vacuum when he's
yeah, yeah, like
yeah,
he doesn't have to like conduct a series of interviews and find the
the
best fit
next
for Port
mobster.
Charles,
Yeah,
But
yeah.
at the same time, I feel like he did sort of sow the seeds of this aspect of Port Charles, where there is this mob activity, and I don't know, it kind of feels like if he does step out, uh, I don't know. If I were him, and he is sort of civic minded in his way, and he does. I mean, we know he cares about a lot of these people, like Laura. It does seem like he's putting them in a position, where there are a lot of unknowns.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely. I mean, but maybe one could argue that there are no really good options. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
what's her name would be horrible.
Selena, yeah, she would be
Selena.
bad. Right,
We don't really
right.
know who the other heads of families are anymore. We
No,
don't
it seems like
see
they've
them.
killed some people in other families,
Yeah, we don't really
so
see.
right,
But okay,
right.
so that was a nice. What about the Elizabeth and Lucas
Oh, yeah,
conversation? Was
yeah,
that
yeah,
one of them?
that was one of them, yes, thank you. Thank you for saying
Okay.
that because I wasn't coming up with that one, but yeah, I like what did you think about that one?
I thought that was nice. I liked that Elizabeth spelled out so
Yeah.
succinctly what the issues were between she and Lucky. You know,
Mhm,
she
mhm.
knows Lucky better than Lucky knows Lucky. Like,
Yeah,
pointing
yeah.
out that Lucky will say he loves me and say he's
Mhm,
going to stay and he will mean it, but
mhm,
he won't be able to
mhm.
do it. You know, she's like her eyes are fully wide open, I
Yeah,
think.
I think yeah, exactly, and that was a little heartbreaking because I kept thinking, "Oh,
Yeah,
come on, you've gotta talk to him," but then she'd say something, and it's like, "Well, yeah, you're probably right." You know?
yeah, yeah.
But so what do you do? Like, what kind of relationship is that if she's feeling like she can't I don't
I
know,
don't know. I mean, she's just been burned too many times, you
yeah,
know, and
yeah, and she doesn't want Lucky to feel sort of tied down with
yeah,
obligation to her if
right.
that's not his nature, but maybe I don't know, maybe he is evolving or he's aging at least, and, it seems like it's possible that he wouldn't and I liked how she said, his dad always called him a cowboy, and that's what he was. That was
Yeah,
like
that was a nice line. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, so there was
yeah.
some good stuff there, and I like that Lucas would just he's a good person to talk to, you know?
He is. He's like he's a great family member. It's weird that they've
Yeah,
decided to do that with this
yeah,
version of Lucas, and it's
mhm,
worked so well. I don't know if it would have worked
really
with that
well.
other actor for some reason. I'm not sure
Yeah,
why, but
yeah, I agree, right, he seemed maybe a little more I don't know if aloof is the word, but, his life wasn't as open to all of these other people,
yeah,
maybe
but
something.
Lucas works well with Carly and
Mhm, mhm,
all everybody. You know, even, like they throw
yeah,
him with Ava, and they have good
yeah.
scenes. You know, and
Yeah, yeah, right, right, so that was nice,
it was nice. But yeah, I was sad too because I was like, oh, I want Elizabeth and Lucky to ride off into the sunset together. But
yeah, yeah, I don't know,
and did she say something that implied that she thought Rick's new car was like made him hot and sexy or something? Or did I miss?
I chose not to hear that.
She did then, didn't she? I was like doing other stuff. I was in the kitchen and I was like, what did I just hear?
I know,
And
I
they've had her
know.
place little like hints about that before. Like there's still some
Yeah.
spark there. Like, oh God.
I don't
Oh
like that at all. I know. I mean, that I don't see how she could have both of these feelings, like, and
right. I know. Yeah.
because but
Although, I
then
mean, I suppose it's flattering that somebody worships you the way Rick has seemed to worship her forever,
yeah,
you
that's
know?
the problem. I think, yeah, she does find it flattering regardless of the type of person he is, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
He is funnier now, though.
yeah, he's got
Like,
some sass. Yeah.
he's got some self-awareness to crack jokes now
Well,
about,
that's true too. Yeah.
yeah.
That does help. Yeah.
I love that
Um
they left the note for Alexis in the
Sick
storage
burn, yeah.
unit.
Yeah. She
Oh,
thought she was coming at them ham, and,
yeah.
and they
Ham.
turned it around, yeah. But
I
I
think
also
are you sure you're using that right? That sounded
no,
awkward
no,
that
I'm
time.
not. It sounds awkward
Coming at
every
them
time.
ham. I'm
Hard
coming
as
at
a
you ham.
motherfucker. Coming at you hard as a motherfucker.
Maybe it shouldn't be at the end of the sentence. I guess it has to be, right?
Coming ham at you?
Ham. Oh, I don't know. Oh, ham. I don't know.
Oh.
Come, I don't know. It just sounds weird. It doesn't
Yeah.
roll off the tongue.
No, not
Maybe
for
we're
me
just too
either.
old. Get a new
Maybe.
phrase from your young girlfriend. Maybe she could have
Okay.
something that'll work
Maybe something
better.
that's more age appropriate. Like
Yeah.
I've fallen and I can't get up. There an
She prob
acronym for that?
she probably wouldn't even know those ads. I don't know if they still have those on
Yeah,
anymore?
they do. They've become
Uh,
even more dramatic. Yeah. Yeah. Um, but I was gonna say I had mixed feelings about the conversation between Alexis and Lucky, but overall I supported it.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what I think is going to come between one thing will come between Elizabeth and Lucky is his keeping this secret from her
Yeah.
already. Like that's
Mhm.
just doesn't
Mhm.
reflect well on him, you
No, it
know.
doesn't. It doesn't at all. Yeah, that was a mistake. And also when he was sort of describing the sequence of events to Alexis, it's like, "Lucky, don't you realize that none of that sounds good?" It sounds
Yeah.
like your
Yeah.
first impulse to anybody is to just, make sure you've got an alibi,
Yeah,
you
cover
know?
it up. Cover it up. Yeah.
And that just doesn't really seem true to his character, and it doesn't seem like necessarily the best way to handle Christina, you know?
Right. And Christina is another one I don't think
Oh,
she's an
oh,
asshole, but her
oh,
conversation with Dante,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
like I mean, obviously like his antenna are up about
mhm.
how did you know that? And like her cover for that was like wildly um stupid. She could have said, "Oh, well, Elizabeth was telling me what the car looked like,"
Yeah,
or anything
yeah,
that would have been better than I just happened to be driving by and.
and she was leaning so hard into, like, I don't something about it made her seem like a real psychopath,
Yeah, yeah, and it's like
like
she is kind of believing all this BS that she's
Yeah,
feeding somebody now.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's rewriting history with herself as just an innocent bystander, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. She might break soon, and
Yeah.
Alexis isn't doing her any favors by not.
No,
You
no,
know,
she's not.
Alexis needs to even if she's going to continue allowing herself to be blackmailed, like she needs to
Mm.
tell Christina that she knows.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would help because yeah,
And
Christine is so, like she's fractured, and,
yeah, like she tried to murder somebody.
she did she did.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
and
maybe like up your visits to the therapist at the
maybe,
very
yeah.
least.
Yeah, and I mean, if she had picked somebody that no one was gonna miss, that would be a different story, but people
Right,
would
like
miss
Sonny,
Ava.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd miss Ava terribly.
I
So,
know you would, I know,
yeah.
I know, yeah.
Speaking of Alexis,
Mhm.
I think it was yesterday. Is it Suzanne or Susan, the
Oh,
secretary?
right, right, yeah,
Or do we have
right.
like a thing going on now with the tea? Is that like gonna be a joke every time somebody comes and they ask for a
Yeah.
obscure tea selection or something? And
That seems to be the
is she
case, yeah.
funnier to other people than she is to me?
She's not funny to me yet. Not yet,
Okay.
Gia. No, no. Mm-mm.
And a lot of people have noticed and pointed out that she was
The psychic.
the psychic, the medium or whatever
Mhm,
earlier on. And like, so
mhm.
are they just mocking us now when they cast characters like these dumb old ladies? They'll never remember.
Yeah, they'll start having her play other parts too. Just, like she'll show up as Ava one day and we'll be like, "Okay, I guess
Yeah.
that's Ava." Hmm. Uh,
Um, anyway, I just thought, "Oh, we're gonna do this now every time somebody goes to that
we're gonna
office."
do
I'm
this.
like
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
probably it'll wear me down. I'll be, like, laughing my head off at it next time I have a show.
Let us know when that day
Well,
arrives.
that I know.
Didn't that tea joke kill you today?
I'm so malleable though, like, I don't know.
I know we don't trust ourselves after the Emma thing, we just
Right, I know,
we
'cause
know we are
we came
just
we came at her ham, right?
right. Are you happy now, Bailey? We've used it like 15 times, and it's not sounding any better.
It sounds a little yeah, a little weird.
Yeah, but yeah,
I was never a fan of ham either. Um
no, 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 that is one of the things that made becoming a vegetarian quite easy.
It struck me as the closest to what, like, a human thigh might look like if it were cooked.
Is that the kind of thing you would say at the dinner table? for
probably.
Easter dinner or something.
Yeah. I
Mother
mean,
must
the
we
next
have
thought would be like, how do you know what a human thigh looks like? And then my mother would like she had one of those meat grinder things, like one of those
Oh, yeah, good.
heavy
The
duty
story
ones
gets
that you'd
better.
I know. Well, this was my upbringing. And she would grind it, so she'd have leftover either ham or roast beef is what she would do this with.
Mm.
And she would grind it up and mix it with mayo, and then it's your sandwich the next day.
Wow. Wow. Oh my.
And I
Oh
hated
my.
that even more.
I thank you for saying that, Gia. I don't think we could have been friends otherwise.
My and the cat we had at the time, she loved that thing. Like I vividly remember her sitting under the meat grinder, like she'd just get whatever was
Oh my
dropping.
god.
Yeah.
It's like an Edward Gorey drawing.
I'm sure it was delicious, but I wasn't a fan of the mayonnaise spread
Mm.
sandwich.
That's like homemade devil's ham kind of, isn't it?
I guess so. Yeah, people
Mm.
probably like that. I don't.
Mm.
I'm not
No.
anti meat eating or anything, but I just didn't
So
like ham. Anyway, I'm gonna conclude. In
conclude your
conclusion,
paragraph. So we got the topic sentence. The body was nicely filled out with
at least three
examples.
sentences. Oh no, we're losing it. Oh,
Oh boy.
I don't know what we were talking about. Yeah, Christina is yeah, she does need psychiatric help.
Yeah, it's
You know?
gonna be funny and ironic, I guess, that the more Alexis decides she shouldn't have tried to have her committed, she will need to be committed.
She will, yeah.
Yeah.
And oh,
She
it's
does
yeah.
need to be committed, I think, before she goes further down this little path she's on, you know?
Yeah. Um let's see, what else did we have? We had a fair amount of practicing for the nurses ball. I have to
Oh,
say Lucy has the most rockin' body I
she
think of
does.
anybody on that show or
She
anybody maybe in the world. I don't know.
She's in
Anybody I
great
know.
shape. Yeah, she's in really, really great shape, it's true. Although all
Yeah,
those
yeah.
women are, you know, but
They are. Yeah, they really
yeah,
are. Yeah. Like
wearing orange leggings though like that
yeah.
that's takes
That's
guts to
yep.
and she can back it up.
She can back it up. Beep,
Yeah.
beep. Um Anyway, we didn't get to see any of the little dances or anything. Oh,
No.
and I did see something. You know, we were talking about Gio's when he was playing for the
Yeah.
tango.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so there was some information online that was like from Carmen or something, and it was
Okay.
appropriate to play for a
Mhm.
tango, but I
Mhm.
just it didn't work for me. I don't know what.
No, it wasn't recognizable to me really, and I've seen so many, skating programs done to Carmen. I feel it like
Of course you have, dear.
so many.
Oh my.
It's a classic, Gia.
Um, I also thought I had a little thought. I'm so nitpicky, but when he was playing, when Gio was playing for
Madonna?
yeah,
Mhm,
today, and
mhm,
she wanted like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and what
mhm.
was the other Sleeping Beauty, or
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I felt like they should have changed the references, modernized them. It should have been something from Frozen or Little Mermaid, or
Mhm,
like that,
mhm,
a little girl
mhm,
that age, or I don't even know. Those aren't current. Like I don't know what's
mhm.
the current, but wouldn't that have
Yeah.
been more?
Yeah, I went well, they said Sleeping Beauty, and I wasn't sure, like, if that was a contemporary like, if there's multiple versions, right, of Sleeping Beauty,
I'm
I
sure,
think. So,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know, yeah, but you're
But
probably
couldn't he have
right,
played
yeah,
like "Let It
yeah.
Go"? I
Yeah,
don't even know how
yeah.
that goes,
Could
but
you yeah, he could probably do something with that on the violin, yeah.
he
It did
probably
sound
could.
better, like, what he was playing what sounded better to me today.
Oh, I think he's probably fabulously
Yeah,
talented.
yeah,
I'm
I
just
think he is
nitpicking
too.
about
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
writers. Like, do they
Mhm.
think about that, or do they think, "Oh, our audience is old, so we need to give them something they'll know"?
Yeah, maybe. Which would be what?
Well, what they gave us. I'm just saying they weren't thinking of that character, that little
No,
girl, what
that little
she would
girl,
know.
no.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
She's a precocious little bugger, huh?
She sure is. Yes, she
Are you
sure
okay
is.
with her? I mean, do you put her in with Wiley?
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that. Cause did we see Wiley? Cause I saw him in the credits and I thought, "Oh, fuck, I'm just gonna have to fast
Oh,
forward." But I don't
is it
remember
like one of
seeing
those
him.
things where he's in if they're in the credits, then they're on that day?
I thought so because they don't show everybody every time in the credits, but,
Yeah.
maybe they
No,
had
I
to
don't think we
cut
saw him.
something at some point when they didn't
We
get to
talked
adjust.
about him a lot,
Yeah, yeah, we
and
had some well, yeah, actually, yeah, earlier in the week, we had a lot of that noise about, Michael and the hearing and all of that stuff, right?
right,
And
which is
Drew.
it even in any kind of reality that Carly would have been able to do these things on Michael's behalf without his permission or anything?
I wouldn't think so.
Having
Yeah, she would have to have power of attorney or something,
something, yeah.
yeah, and that I wasn't really liking Carly acting like such a boss in that situation, It just feels like that's one area where I think she does become too much for
She's
me.
a yeah, she's a um what do you call like the all powerful mothers? Like
Hmm,
isn't
um,
there a term for that? Like a
maybe, maybe.
not a satellite mother or
Oh, a
umbrella
helicopter
mother,
mom?
helicopter mom. Yeah,
Umbrella mom. Umbrella mother. That sounds better. I like that. Although that
umbrella
sort of
mom.
prevents them from getting wet. An umbrella
Right,
mom,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So maybe that's what she's doing. But
Mhm.
yeah, it was like, well, that was ridiculous I mean, I know it's a show. I
There's
get that.
also a
But
tiger mom, isn't there? Maybe that's it.
isn't
Anyway,
that like
yeah.
old women that pick up young boys? No, that's a cougar. That's a cougar.
Old women that pick up young boys. You went, like, to the extremes there, like the Golden Girls picking up toddlers. It's not
So
quite
funny
that.
when you read about the Golden Girls and they were all like younger than we are now, you know.
Shut up.
Oh, so a
Uh,
cougar, it's not that big of an age difference. How
well,
how
I don't know.
how big of an age gap does there have to be before you start, you know?
I'm gonna say 20. I feel very uncomfortable now. I'm gonna say like 20 years, but I'm sure it's looser than that,
Okay, yeah.
and that's what she said. um,
What's the equivalent with a man? You know,
hmm,
like they're
equiv-
just a man. It's just,
just yeah, that's
that's
right.
Bill
That's right.
Belichick.
Yeah, that's
Just
life. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Too bad his girl didn't win Miss Maine.
What?
The woman he's dating was in the Miss Maine pageant
Oh, I
recently.
didn't even know that. That makes it even better.
I
Okay.
know. It was kind of fun to watch them, like, they had a picture of them, like, leaving the pageant looking all, like, put out? Like, can you imagine being that guy? "Oh, I gotta go to my girlfriend's pageant."
Oh
Oh,
goodness. No, I
yeah.
didn't know any of that. I haven't really kept up. We've been pretty wrapped up in the Celtics right now, so we're not talking.
Sure, sure, yeah, yeah, mhm.
They're not doing very well.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Yeah, this
yeah.
is like a sad cloud in the house now.
Yeah, I'm sure,
Yeah.
Gia. Mhm.
And I've already ordered him a t-shirt and I'm like, maybe I should not get maybe I should like put that away. He's gonna be angry. But I didn't know they weren't gonna do well.
Oh, dear, dear,
Anyway,
yeah, that's tough.
um,
Okay.
let's see, what else do we have?
Well,
We have oh, go ahead.
did we really talk about the whole divorce thing much? Did we say enough about that? Because we had,
Oh,
like,
Willow and Michael and all of that.
yeah, and Rick now being her lawyer, and Drew knowing or suspecting now that Nina's involved in the ketamine thing.
Yeah, right, he does suspect. Yeah, she's had some good faces lately.
Yeah, she has. Yeah, she's really trying to navigate rocky waters
Oh
these
man, I
days.
know. Yeah. Um
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that makes it more interesting. It's just as usual. I can't stand that they're gonna like try to paint Michael in this horrific light of an absent father. It's like
Yeah,
the
I didn't
guy
like that.
almost got like he was like a
Yeah.
crispy critter.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so he
Mhm.
chose a hospital that had the
Mhm.
best possible health outcomes. And
Right, right.
I just
Yep.
and what I hate, of course, that's Drew pushing
Mhm.
for that. But you see
Mhm.
Willow, like it looked like Willow's hamster got on the wheel right when
Yeah, yeah.
like, ooh, she's like, ooh, that could work. I hate that
Right.
she's
Yep.
getting so skeevy herself from hanging
Yeah.
with Mr.
Y
Skeevy there. And
Oh, I know, I know. He's like a virus.
yeah, and
But
he like even when like they were talking at one point and they got up from the little couch and then they go back to the little couch and he's like
mhm.
pulling her by the hand and he's such a like freaking
Ugh.
velociraptor, like he's
Yeah,
so like
yeah. Mhm.
looming over her.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
kind of looks like the alien critter, from the Sigourney Weaver
Uh-huh.
alien.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't he have that
Yeah.
the way he like curves over her?
Yeah, he's definitely menacing and using his, like,
Menacing, yes. His
his
physicality is
body,
menacing.
yeah, exactly, to sort of control her. It's not just words, it's like the whole
Yeah, his whole
package. Yeah,
posture and this. Yeah, he's
yeah.
probably using his package as well.
Which I'm guessing has a bit of the scabiosa on it
Might be coming at her ham.
from what's now that that was a mic drop use of ham there, Gia. Kudos.
Thank you.
Kudos to you. Yeah, you took it and you owned it. Good
Oh, but
job.
he's just like ugh,
Yeah.
just sketch Skeevyville. Yuck.
Mhm.
I
So,
did
yeah,
like Willow's outfit though.
I liked her blouse, yeah.
It sort of like was like not tie dye, but maybe like batik or something.
Yeah, sort of, yeah, it was a nice kind of peasanty sort of energy, but, yeah.
Peasant energy. I have peasant energy sometimes.
Yeah, and also the smell.
Jesus, what did I
I'm
do
just
to deserve
kidding.
that?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Sure.
Um, I can't smell you from here. Um,
I'm checking
what was
out
it?
her. Oh, they call it a tie dye shirt. That's interesting. I'm
Okay.
on it. I'm on as worn by on
Yeah,
TV.
sure, sure. Uh-huh.
Oh, it's already no longer available. How are these
Wow.
like? When are they available? Just for that hour that they're on the show?
Or maybe they're like last year's fashions that they get sort of at a deal or you know what I
Discount
mean?
or something? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
So you
know.
don't get any sense of like what that might have cost. The jeans
No.
apparently cost $328 from Saks.
Wow.
Good God.
Yeah, that's about, $300 more than I'm willing to pay for a pair of jeans, I think.
I think 28's pushing it
Yeah,
really
yeah, I
from
know.
from the
Yeah.
thrift store.
You can get good ones from,
Go
TJ
on the day when
Maxx.
the tag, whatever the half price tag, and
Mhm, mhm. Yeah.
um okay, go ahead. I don't know what you were talking about.
What was I ta oh, I know. I'm hoping that the timing of Drew's interference with Willow's visit to Michael is such that it kind of derails this plan of theirs, this strategy of theirs. But I don't know if it can or if it would be so significant that it would affect anything. You know what I mean?
Well, it should, shouldn't it?
It should if Willow understands what Drew did, if she comes across this information, then yeah, she should realize that everything would have been different or could have been different if she had had a chance to talk to Michael.
Well, I think for me, more importantly, the fact that Drew would do that means
Yeah,
that like
yeah,
he's
that
not
he's
the
a total
guy.
scumbag. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that
Right.
isn't that kind of
That's
the
one big takeaway. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
the takeaway. I
Mhm.
guess that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, so if that came out, one would hope that all the legal proceedings would be halted anyway, because she would go, "Oh
Mhm.
my God,
Mhm.
you're like the skeevy guy that everybody's been trying to tell me you are."
Yeah, I know, like, I wonder how he would
But it
try
probably
to
won't. Yeah, I
spin
mean,
that. Right, right. Because who can put that together for us right now? Jason and Sasha, are they the ones?
Jason has got to be onto it, I would think. I mean, now he's heard that.
He's heard that. Yeah, he just needs well, they need to talk to Michael because they need to tell him that this court date is coming up, right? Although Carly's like, "Don't talk to him," so it's like, "Carly, please. You have to talk to him, you
I
know?"
know. Yeah, she's being like just such a overbearing.
Yeah, that's where it got too much, like, you
Yeah.
can't do all this without his knowledge, and so it does seem like it would pull him back to Port Charles, right? Like, he's gonna come back in a couple
Right.
weeks.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna get our new Michael, I think. Yeah.
It'll probably be played by, Alexis's receptionist, just a heads up.
That'd be hysterical. That'd be funny. Tried to pull that off.
Hmm,
I'm still
um,
shopping. If you wanted to get Lulu's plaid top from the other day,
no, thanks,
uh,
but you liked it, but I can't because Lulu was wearing it, I
Nordstrom,
Nordstrom.
328,
Wow,
328. Actually,
that's
it's
a
from quite a
lot.
few different places, but it's 328 from all of them.
That seems like a lot, doesn't it, for that top?
Really, for
I
anything.
mean I mean, does it do anything? Does it have, like, Wi-Fi or anything?
It's a boucle sweater.
Boucle
Boucle.
boucle?
Oh, boucle.
I think
Is
it's
that just the
boucle.
material? The material or the
Yeah,
pattern?
it's that sorta little tufted like a lot of upholstery. There's a lot of boucle out there in the
I think
upholstery
that's the
world
attraction
for
for me. I like clothing that looks like upholstery.
yeah, you like clothing that makes you wanna run your hand over it.
I'm very tactile, I guess. I don't
You're very
know.
tactile, Gia. Yeah, yeah, that's right. A looped
And
yarn
I
or
like
the
to
res
say whore.
I think
uh,
everyone's got a pretty vivid picture of the type of person you are at this point.
I don't think they do. I don't know how they could really
They
pin
know
it
you love
down
the
or something.
ponies. They
Yeah,
know, right?
that makes me sound like I'm a race fan, and I'm not
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, and that reminds me, did you hear the jockey that won the Kentucky Derby got fined for overuse of whipping the
I
horse?
did. Yes.
Yeah, see, that's why I can't watch those things. I mean, why would you set up a situation where you're whipping horses?
Well, when they say whipping, I mean it's.
It's it's a love tap.
I think they have a certain number of times you can swat him, and he was over it by one or something.
Who
Um,
decides that a horse is okay with a certain number of swattings, though? The horse? Do they
well,
pull the horse?
due to language constraints, I don't think they the horses. I guess I'm looking at it is that isn't it nice that they have looked at this and decided they need to have some regulation on it, um,
Wow. Yeah,
you
that's
know,
the other yeah, okay. Alright.
as opposed to just they used to give racehorses cocaine.
Yeah, yeah, there's still a lot of shit that goes on in those
Oh
racehorse
yeah,
world.
yeah, all
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Mhm.
you could probably tell us some stories about the dog world since your
Yeah,
mom was.
I'm no fan of that either. I mean, I don't
Yeah,
think they don't probably drug them up or anything like they do with horses, but,
they use a
yeah, there's
lot of moose. They probably use a lot of
a lot of
moose.
moose dye, like honey like, Sonny has hair dye. I think they do that sometimes with dogs, dye
Do
the
they?
fur. I think so.
And they get
Powder.
away with it? They get away with it? Like they can't, the judges
Well,
can't tell that
yeah,
they're
I
dyed a
don't
certain
know.
way?
I don't know. Maybe I'm making shit up.
You might be.
I might be,
You're
but yeah,
overtired. But
I don't like that world either 'cause,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
so many nice dogs in the shelter, I love a mutt.
sure,
I
sure.
mean, there's lots of breeds that I love too. I mean, I love dogs, but, Anyway.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so yeah, I did see that. I did see that. I didn't read
Yeah.
any more about it. I
Mhm.
didn't want to think about it. But I mean, when
Mhm.
I like you, I don't know. I didn't question it. I rode with crops when I rode.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
you know, it's like
Yeah.
a way to signal a horse. Like
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you weren't out there like just wailing. It wasn't.
Trying to draw
I'm sure.
blood. Yeah.
Yeah, like but yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there are a lot of cruelties involved. I mean, I think
Mhm.
like with hindsight and in later years, I think people have become maybe a little more humane in their
Mhm. Mhm.
handling of animals, hopefully, but
Yeah,
not in all
hopefully.
ways, not in all worlds. And I'm sure
Mhm.
around the world, I'm sure there's still all kinds of
Yeah.
bad things going on. Let's not talk about that. Let's like
Okay. Alright.
talk
Alright.
about
Yeah.
boucle. Is
Boucle, yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
boucle? I'm gonna look for
Mhm.
boucle clothing next time I'm at the thrift store.
Why don't you ask for it?
Do you have a boucle section?
Section. Oh, that would be a funny cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, what other characters? We had a fun scene. I mean, I'm tired of the politics, but I liked the scene
Mhm.
with
Oh,
Laura
yeah.
throwing water
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
boil.
I know, I like that she laughed too, that was
Yeah, and
good.
then she was
Yeah,
laughing. Yeah, she couldn't stop
yeah,
herself. Yeah, that was pretty
yeah,
good.
right, right, yep. That's true, yeah, that was a cute little scene.
And he was like, I mean, he was enjoyable just because he was like obviously enjoying being that
Yeah,
absolute jerk,
totally, totally. He's
Kind of
really,
funny. Yeah.
really all in on that character.
Yeah.
Um,
I liked
yeah,
that he didn't believe Drew also,
right.
when Drew was
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
what is her
what's her
name?
name?
The whore. Jucinda?
Jacinda, good
Jacinda.
job. Good job. I
Yeah.
kept wanting it to start with a P for some reason, but Jacinda, yeah.
Jacinda. And it was funny that Boyle has like he spent time with her. He spent a
Oh,
lot
yeah. I know. He knows Jacinda. Everybody knows
everybody
Jacinda.
knows Jacinda. Heart
Uh,
of gold, that Jacinda. Yeah.
he's got her on speed dial.
Yeah.
Mm.
So he's of course growing on me, you know.
We love him. Why doesn't Carly date him? He's got sass and everything, moxie.
He's got good hair. Once
Yeah, he's
again,
got
you
some
know.
hair. Sure, sure. I
He's
like
got
how
some
Drew just hates Carly now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I know. And they were so like, remember that scene where they like flew him somewhere and had him running around on the beach together and all that
Yeah, that was
crap,
like when her mom was,
Oh,
they had to
right. Yeah, they
move
were.
her
Yeah.
mother's grave,
Oh,
or her
yeah.
birth mom. Yeah, yeah,
And
right.
they were such soulmates then. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
weren't they? Yeah, yeah. Mm,
Oh, glad that's over.
me too. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
we had Joss and Emma. They're falling out.
yeah, that was sad. That was hard to
That
take.
was sad. I know.
I have
I feel
sympathy for both of them.
I do too. And though I didn't really think Emma was wrong in all of her hatred and
No,
words,
no.
yeah, she understands exactly what Joss did. So
Yeah, but I mean, Joss is just, like just
doing her
doing her
job.
job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
Mm,
I don't understand, like, why did they have to get her um instated as the summer helper if
yeah.
Vaughn can just be a maintenance guy and go in there and look for whatever the fuck he needs to look for? Like, why did we have to go through all this heartache?
Yeah.
Vaughn's already in.
Oh, I thought you called him Juan.
I could call him Juan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obi-Wan Vaughn.
Obi-Wan Vaughn. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Right, if they're doing everything after hours anyway, then it is a little silly.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know. So,
yeah.
and the Vaughn seems like, oh well, he could just bust into anywhere and he wants
Mhm.
anyway. Like, well, why did we need
Mhm.
this her on the inside? I don't know. Well, I guess
Yeah,
it'll be revealed, but
I guess so. Yeah, and she's gonna have to get into the lab. Maybe only one
yeah,
of his staff could get into the lab.
yeah.
But yeah.
Where all the gorgeous bunnies will be waiting.
Oh, those beautiful, beautiful bunnies.
Beautiful,
Oh,
carded up bunnies.
oh, I hope they have some real bunnies for us. Wouldn't that be great?
No, because then we'd be thinking that they were being experimented on.
Well, they would look beautiful though.
Yeah, okay.
No, they wouldn't actually experiment on them. Though we would at least know
The
that
bunnies
those
would be
bunnies were taken
actors. The
care that's
bunnies
right, they
would
would
be
be stunt
actors.
bunnies. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean, I wonder how horrific this storyline is going to have to get. Like, what? I don't
mm,
know. I
right.
don't because I don't even know. I've never looked into like what the laws are about that kind of stuff. Because there is some. I mean, people do object to experiments on animals and animal
Mhm.
testing, and
Mhm.
but
Yep.
obviously it's still allowed because otherwise we wouldn't have this distinction on our products that lets you know
Yeah.
this one was
Yeah.
not tested on animals. So some of
Mhm.
them are tested on animals, and there's all kind of
Yeah.
medical stuff.
Mhm. Right. Yeah, plenty of stuff still
Yeah,
doesn't have the little bunny drawing on it.
right, right. So we'll have to see what
Mhm.
crosses the line here.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder what's next for Emma. Is she going to be able to
Maybe he'll be
regroup?
experimenting on real people. Maybe that'll be the thing.
Ooh. Ooh. So you think there's just going to be a bunch of naked people
That would
behind
be
that lab
creepy, huh?
door?
Wouldn't that be creepy? Yeah. Like
Would be a little creepy. Yeah.
he's
Bunch of
he went up to the what's the little cross town, the little crossroads town they're always going to. Beecher he went to
Beecher's
Beecher's
Corners
Corners.
and ran it got a
Yeah.
busload of people said,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah.
take you on a tour." You won a contest.
That's terrible. Uh,
Oh, dear.
yeah, I don't know what's next for Emma. I'm thinking this will continue to draw she and Geo closer.
That's
Um,
true, yeah, that's possible, and he's gonna be sort of torn because he was friends with Joss and a defender of Joss,
right, right. But he, of course,
and
he's gonna have his hands full here when his whole
oh, he's got a lot
parentage blows
yeah,
up.
he's gonna
Yeah.
have a lot going on, yeah. So
Oh my
that's gonna
my.
be a tough one. We didn't talk much. We haven't talked much about Kai and Trina lately, and they
Well,
have
you know
been
why? Because it's
pop.
so boring.
Yeah, they don't really know how to make them interesting as a couple, do they?
Well, and Kai seems like a sweet boy, but he just seems
Mhm.
like I don't know. So
He's kind
he
of
seems
he needs a little
extra young.
yeah, like he needs a little cynicism or he needs to question things a little bit maybe. I mean, he's kind of mature in a way, but at the same time seems kind of naive, right?
Yeah. And I just this whole like, oh, he wants to get out for the nurse's ball. That seems like
Yeah.
such a false. Like
You know,
really? Like that would
I
matter to you? I don't know. It's like,
I know, I don't think that sounded
and
very
like, is that something that Trina really needs support for? Not really. It's not.
not
I don't know.
really, no, it's not the equivalent really of, major surgery,
Yeah,
although
so it all seemed quite silly, and to be
yeah.
honest, I'd kind of forgotten that he was even on.
Yeah, I know, that's what happens, and that happened, like because they were on before, and I realized after we had finished, "Oh, boy, we didn't even talk about that," that he
Hi,
they
yeah,
yeah, um, but, yeah, it's too bad that they can't do more with those guys, I think.
yeah, yeah. I wasn't feeling it.
No.
Anybody
Mhm.
else we didn't cover?
I feel like I just remembered somebody and then immediately forgot them, so, yeah,
Mm,
I'm of no
mm,
use at this moment. But we
mm.
covered a lot.
Okay, we really
Right?
did.
Right? We
Right?
feel good
Yeah,
about that.
we can, and we feel good about our new acronym that we learned and employed over and over.
Ad nauseum. Yeah.
Ad nauseum. Yeah, does Bailey
Mhm.
know about ad nauseum? You can teach her that.
Teach
She'll be like, "Yeah, you do make me nauseous."
Stop talking to me. Delete this app from your phone.
Ad nauseum. It's kind of a funny thing we say, isn't it? Ad
It
nauseum.
is. And we don't say it that often, do
We don't,
we?
no,
Mm.
probably not as much as we talk about badgers.
Which is odd, but,
Yeah,
if you know us at all, then you're not surprised.
right.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I guess we've kind of covered it all. We can
Okay.
wrap it up, I suppose.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
All
Sure.
right.
Sure.
Well, try to get a new acronym we can play with next time. I think we're done with ham.
I think we're done with ham. I don't know if we've got the chops really to absorb these hip acronyms into our vocabulary.
I
Do
think it
we?
keeps us young, keeps us synapses
Keeps us young.
firing, trying to learn new things.
But
It's good
yeah,
to learn new
we
things.
learn an acronym and we forget like the names of half the characters on the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's worth it.
Well, some stuff goes in and some stuff
Yeah,
falls out
it's
of your
gotta
head,
come out. Yeah,
So,
there's
yeah.
only limited
Yeah.
space in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Um,
Anyway. Okay,
anyway,
well, thanks everybody for listening if you are, and if you're not, we understand, and we'll
we
we'll do
understand.
this again in a few
Yeah.
days.
Well, we never hold that against you if you
No.
turn this off immediately.
Yep.
But we love the people who stick around. We really
We
do.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. We'll talk to you in a few days.
Okay, Gia. Have a good night.
Okay, you too. See ya.
Okay. Bye.